Hi guys, welcome to my contribution to the This Little Piggy Pigjama Party. I decided to go for a bit of an alien theme for my video today. I'm starting off by creating a small paint skin on my Fluid Art Co pour mat, using a little bit of pillow and some This Little Piggy grunge. Now, This Little Piggy grunge is mixed with just my Sheleeart pouring medium, and I've chosen a 12 by 16 cradled wood panel for my overall piece, and I'm popping some pillow down now for my background because I want to do a really large swipe. Now, I sort of want it to look like space, but it's going to have my signature cells all through it, so it's not really going to be looking like outer space, typical galaxy type sparkly stars and things like that. I wanted to go for something a little bit different, so yeah, my sky is going to be full of Sheleeart cells. Now I'm placing down a little bit of black paint first, because I want something dark to lay my piggies on. So these piggies they do have a transparency to them, so the black background just really helps to bring out that true colour of the piggy on top of it. So I've started with a little bit of black, and I've laid down a nice big thick strip of a galaxy, also mixed into some pouring medium, and another smaller strip of constellation just below that. Now I'm going to swipe black cell activator directly over the galaxy and the constellation. Now I wouldn't normally choose to use a black cell activator on top of a dark piggy, but for this particular look I wanted, I didn't want these cells to be really super high contrast. I just wanted a subtle pattern in the background. So yeah, I'm really happy with the way the cells have formed and the way this background is stretching out. However, I do have it on the spinner for a reason. So because there's quite a lot of paint on there, and I'm moving it backwards and forwards, it's pulling in from the edges a little bit and leaving some of that kind of nasty white flocculation looking type patterns from the pillow and the, a lot of dark colors with the pillow. So I really wanted to make sure I can spread that right out to the corners. Continuing on to tilt it probably wouldn't work because it is going to just keep dragging it back from the corners and the sides. So I really want to get that paint, the weight of that paint moving out in a circular motion, to get it nice and thin so it dries well, and also to go over those kind of patchy white parts where you can see the pillow on the edges. Using the spinner was perfect for this because I had a lot of paint on there. It was a really nice way to get it all spread out to the edges. So I'm loving the pattern here with the galaxy and the black, and just as I had hoped, there is just a little bit of constellation at the bottom there, because when you see the overall plan for this piece, you'll understand why I wanted that kind of lighter bit at the bottom. Now, I am using some paint skins for this project, and for me personally, I find it difficult to stick paint skins down on top of celled up areas that don't have a resin finish on them. The reason for that is, the cells leave a little bit of a sort of, they leave some ditches in certain areas, so I wanted a nice flat surface, so I've popped a coat of resin down and let that cure. So I wanted to have a beam of light coming out of my UFO, which you will see later, the UFO. So I've basically mixed some This Little Piggy velvet into TRIART liquid glass. I thought that the TRIART liquid glass was a perfect choice for this particular swipe that I wanted to do. Now, I don't want any cells to be in this swipe. Obviously, I just want it to look like, a beam of light that's coming from the spaceship. So I had this idea that on top of the dried resin, I could just swipe my liquid glass with the velvet in it. And it gave me a really, really cool, sort of realistic looking light that's a little bit kind of see-through, you know, it's a bit transparent. So seeing a little bit of that background come through really gave it that kind of genuine look of being a light. So I just used my scraper to tidy up the edges, and I wasn't too worried about you know, scratching the resin, because I am going to be putting a final coat of resin over the whole thing. So my OCD is kicking in a little bit here because I'm trying to make it nice and even, and it's starting to remind me a little bit like evening up a haircut. I keep taking a little bit off each side, more and more, so it's getting a little bit skinnier than I'd hoped, but you know, I really wanted to have it quite symmetrical. So yeah, so once I'm happy with the beam of light, I'm still finding some little bits of velvet in areas where I don't want them, so I'm just tidying that up, and there I go again, taking a little bit more off. I realised when I go to put the spaceship on that it wasn't quite level, so I'm just tidying that up a little bit. Okay, so once I'm happy with my beam of light, I go straight over to my cameo and decide to cut my spaceship skin out of my favourite piggy, which is Meteorite. I didn't film the making of this skin, but it basically just came out the way the green one did. So I've just put a little bit of pillow and a little bit of Meteorite down, spun it out till dry, and then popped it onto my blue mat, and here is the cameo cutting out the spaceship. So I decided as well that I wanted some glowing light coming through the cutout strips in the spaceship. So I've used just a regular, bluey greeny color glow powder. I just had some samples sitting around, so obviously we might be thinking about bringing out some of these in the future in the TLP line, so I'm always testing lots of different pigments and colors and powders and combinations. So this is a little bit of a tester with a blue-green glow, and I've cut out the exact same size spaceship from that, and I'm going to put one on top of the other so that the glow comes through the spaceship. So here I am cutting out, what am I doing here? I'm making some little eyes and nose for my piggy, which we haven't seen yet, but he is very cute and you will be meeting him shortly. So here's little piggy now. He's going to be naked at the start, but I do dress him up in some little pajamas later, which is very, very cute. So here's the cameo cutting little piggy out. And I have used a skin again of ballet slipper and latte to make a nice little piggy color, and I've also added some just regular glow powder into that, hoping that it will help little piggy glow up a little bit under the black light. So a little bit fiddly here, trying to get Mr. Piggy's nose and eyes on and putting his limbs on. You know, he's going to be getting sucked up by this spaceship, so I had to take his arms off to put his little pajamas on, which was a very, very fiddly process. So I am using a little bit of matte medium to adhere his little pajamas, just with a little paintbrush there. And I found some really intricate tweezers that come as a tool for the cameo machine. Came in really handy as well. That's not me using them here, obviously, but they come in really handy to pick up tiny little bits of skin, and you know, yeah, really handy to put his little eyes and on in the right spot in their little intricate areas there. So I decided to go for a pair of overalls. Now, I don't have any footage of this particular skin. This little turquoise skin with some black cell activator made some nice little, tiny little cells. So because his pajamas are so small, I wanted to make sure you could see some cells. So I've just picked a piece of scrap skin that I had sitting in the cupboard from something else, and it was perfect for this job. So they're kind of little pinafore pajamas. Didn't really know if I was going to make a girl or a boy, but I decided to make this guy a little boy. So I don't know how many little boys wear that to bed, but I thought it was quite cute for Mr. Piggy. So yeah, he's looking adorable. And yeah, he's ready to get sucked up the beam of light into the spaceship. So I went for a bit more of a comical kind of cute theme this time. I normally stay quite serious with my pieces, but this time I just wanted to do something a bit different. So yeah, I hope you guys are enjoying it so far. Don't forget to stay tuned after me as well, because Lisa Marvin is coming up straight after me, and I'm really excited to see what she has done. Haven't seen anything yet, so yeah, stick around for Lisa after my video. Okay, so I've cut out some little aliens from the cameo as well. So they are paint skins. So again, just another scrap piece of paint skin where I had used just black and white and a bit of velvet and a little bit of sequins. So it has a bit of a shimmery effect to it on the angle, but it is quite subtle. I was more interested really in the pattern that this made. I was kind of mucking around with my paint scraper, and I made some squiggly kind of lines, and so I've decided to cut out those alien skins from that really cool patterned skin. So here I am just using the little circles that I made in the very beginning of the glow skin. So I've just cut the circles and I'm popping them behind. I'm just putting a whole circle behind the alien's head because the alien's eyes are already cut out from the cameo machine. So you'll basically be able to see their glowing eyes, or their bright green eyes, through the front. So I'm having a little bit of a problem with one of the arms as well. So later on you might see me swapping one arm for another arm, because I cut out multiple skins of the aliens in case I wanted to use different body parts. So I did a bit of dissecting there because one alien wasn't really pointing in the right direction. He was pointing out to the side, so I kind of had to chop his arm off, and I replaced it with another arm and made it point down further. So yeah. So now moving on to the actual spaceship. So I've just used a little bit of matte medium. Now the actual spaceship itself is probably the part of this piece that I was unhappy with, only because it had a couple of bubbles in there and my OCD kind of took over a little bit, and I just, yeah, it's a little bit bumpy. So trying to just ignore that when we do the flyover later. Not the most perfect part of this piece, but I didn't really have time to spin another skin, cut another skin and glue it all together. So it is what it is, and we're just going to pretend that there's a few craters on the outside of the spaceship from being knocked around in space a little bit too much up against the planets. Not that that happens. Anyway, so Mr. Piggy is getting put into the beam of light here. Now, I did have to... started to sound like a surgeon. I did have to cut his arms off and put them and replace them down to make it look like he was getting sucked up into the ship. So I think I did a pretty good job of that, and I'm trying to keep the whole piece really kind of, keeping the colour theme not too bright. Originally I was going to do like a bright pink and orange spaceship, and everything was sort of really out of control and colourful, and then I decided to sort of par it back a little bit and make everything, I sort of went for a grey, blue, greeny type colour palette, and everything matched up a little bit more when I decided to change up the colours a bit. So I've popped the little aliens on. The alien on the left is now pointing down to the piggy, which was the whole point. And so they're nicely in position now, and I've got my I've got my glow spaceship skin glued onto the back of the meteorite one. So I'm hoping when I put the right light on it, you're going to be able to see the nice blue glow coming out of those strips in the spaceship. So I've put another coat of resin on. To be honest, it might not have been enough to cover all of the skins properly. There's a couple of little bits there that would probably benefit from one extra coat of resin. But overall, I'm really happy with the end result. I think Piggy looks really cute in his PJs, and the beam of light I think is my favorite part ever. I've used a bunch of really cool Piggies from the Galaxy range, which is up for grabs. All of them are up for grabs in the prize, so don't forget to read all the competition details, and good luck with winning that amazing pack of Piggies. Whoever gets that one is going to be rather lucky. So this is just outside. Is it outside? I think it was outside. It was either outside or half inside. Somewhere where there was a bit of sunlight anyway. And then I brought it indoors to see what it looks like under the black light. And I was pretty happy with it. Piggy didn't really glow under the black light. Now, the black light really brings out the neon Piggies, not so much the glow powder. So I did learn that, but I was really happy with with everything in the end. And I just want to thank everybody for watching, and don't forget to check out Lisa Marvin Art. She is going to be on straight after me now, and I hope you enjoy her video, and I hope you're enjoying all of the videos so far. Just want to thank the whole team and Nathan for putting this together. It's been super fun. All right, thanks guys, love you heaps, bye.